All right, guys, now we're going to go through our Lewis dot diagrams if we don't know the formula, okay? So if we don't know the chemical formula of our compound, we have to figure out the compound first. We have to figure out that formula. So the first thing that we do there is we figure out what charges our ions are going to have. If we have elements that are in the first column, we know that in the first column it's got one valence electron. It's going to lose that one electron and form a +1 charge. Elements in our second column are going to lose their two valence electrons and form a +2 charge. If we are over in column 13, right, that's our boron, aluminum, gallium, that's going to lose its three valence electrons and form a +3 charge. Now, gallium and indium starts getting a little bit weirder, though. We're not going to worry too much about those weirder ones. Elements in column 15, it is now going to gain electrons, right? So here it is going to gain electrons. Column 15, it is going to gain 3 electrons. So column 15, it had 5 valence electrons. If it gains 3 more, it becomes a -3 ion, and it has 8 valence electrons. Remember the octet rule there. So then column 16 is going to gain 2 electrons to form a -2 ion. And finally, column 17 is going to gain 1 electron to form a -1 ion. For our transition metals, we kind of have to determine the charge based on the element that it is bonded to. We don't really know the charges of our transition metals because they can have lots of different charges. Okay, so we're not going to worry about that immediately. Okay, but let's go through an example. Let's look at magnesium and chlorine. So magnesium, if we know magnesium, we know that we have 2 valence electrons, right? It's in column 2. Chlorine has 7 valence electrons because it is in group 17. So we know that magnesium is going to become a +2, and that chlorine is going to become a -1. Okay? So our magnesium is a +2, chlorine is a -1. We have to determine the least common multiple between our charges. So +2 -1, what's the least common multiple? Would be 2. So we need 1 magnesium. That's going to be a +2. And then we'll need 2 chlorides that are a -1. When we add that together, then we have 0 charge overall. That's what we need. Okay? So what we will end up having, right, the number that we need to multiply the charge by is the number of that element that we need in the compound. So if we're trying to get up to 2, -1 times 2 is going to be a -2. That's what we need. +2 times 1 is our +2. So what we need then is to have a compound that would be MgCl2. That way then we can write the ionic Lewis structure just as we would have done before using our formula. We would say, okay, my magnesium, we have 2 electrons there. It's going to lose its 2 electrons and become a +2 charge. And then we need 2 chlorines. So I'm going to draw 2 chlorines here. 1 chlorine is going to gain 1 electron and become a -1. The second chlorine is going to gain 1 electron and become a -1 as well. Okay, so this would be our correct Lewis structure now. Okay, so what we should be able to do is go ahead and practice our formulas down at the bottom here. Okay,